Lisa Mansour from New York Cake, and today I'm going to show you an easy way to make a fondant high-heeled shoe. This is my kit that I produce. All the materials to make the shoe are in here. We have a heel mold made out of silicone that you could put chocolate modeling paste, fondant, or even isomalt in. We have a drying rack, and we also have some instructions and all the patterns to make a shoe, whether it be open toe, an open toe shoe, a closed toe shoe, one side strap. There's different options, and I'll show you how to do it. The first thing we do is actually make the heel. The reason why I do this first, because I prefer to dry it at least overnight, so it's nice and dry when we start to put together our shoe. So I have a piece of fondant that I actually kneaded a little bit. You have to always knead your fondant a little bit before we put it in the mold. And the smooth side is usually down. So I want the smooth side facing the heel here. So when you have a finished product, it's nice and smooth. So I put the smooth side down first. If it's the first time you're using the mold, you might want to use a little bit of vegetable shortening to ensure it doesn't stick. Okay? So I'm just pushing it all the way down. I'm going to take a rolling pin to ensure that it went all the way down. Okay? Then I take a palette knife, and on a 45-degree angle, I'm just going to trim all the excess, and you have a nice flat shoe. I'm actually going to take this and put this in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then when I unmold it, it comes perfect. If I go to unmold it right now, you might distort the heel a little bit because it's soft. So that's why I put it in the freezer. It's a little trick. Okay? We'll put this in the freezer. So right out of the freezer, I'm going to face it upside down, and I'm going to unmold it. And it comes right out. Okay? The next step is to make sure that it matches the drying rack. The idea is to have it the same height. This one is slightly shorter, so what we're going to do is actually elongate the heel a little bit, just so it matches the height of the heel. Okay, it has to match, otherwise you might have a step effect, and we don't want to have that. We want to have it totally even. So I'm elongating it a little bit, and I'm seeing if it matches up, and it does. That's a perfect match, okay? Now you let this dry overnight or 2 days if you have the time. You could leave it on a board. You could dust a little cornstarch here so it doesn't stick. And then you're ready for the next step. Now I'm ready to start my shoe. I have fondant right out of the bucket that I have already added a little bit of Tylose powder to. Basically what it does, it kind of turns it into sort of like a gum paste, so it dries quicker and actually has more sturdiness so it doesn't flop around. Okay, so I added about a tablespoon of Tylose. Now I'm going to take a rolling pin and roll out my fondant because I'm going to cut out the sole. Okay, I have about a nice length. I put my pattern. I take a pizza wheel or an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to follow the pattern to cut out my sole. You pull away the excess and save it for the next step. Trim anything that's not perfect. Now is the time to do it. Smooth out the edges. Now if you wanted a more rounded toe, you could cut it round, you could keep it pointy, that's up to you. It's just a pattern and you could take it from here and modify easily. Okay, now I'm going to lift it up. I'm actually working on a circle. The reason being, once I start putting this together, it's easy for me to turn like this without putting pressure on the heel and breaking. So I'm going to place the sole on the drying rack. I'm going to dust it with a little bit of cornstarch so it releases easy. Okay. Now I have a heel that's already dried. I'm actually using piping gel as glue. I'm going to stand it up at the back of the drying rack and just gently push down and make it join. So this is step one. Now we're going to do an inner sole. I'm going to cut it out of white. So I have my white fondant that I'm going to roll out. If you notice, I left my heel about, I would say, 1/4 of an inch thick. It's important to have that thickness so it doesn't break. The sole, the inner sole part doesn't have to be that thick because it's just a decoration. And I'm going to follow the sole again, just as a pattern. And I didn't add Tylose to this because, again, it's just a decoration and I don't need it to be stiff or not. So I'm just peeling away the excess. And now I'm actually going to cut again, but it has to be smaller because the sole is much smaller in the shoe. So I'm going to go around and take off a little more. And generally, it's straight across. If you have any rough edges, just smooth them out. And I'm going to take a little bit of piping gel to glue it as well. Okay. So that's step two. Now it's up to you to decide what kind of shoe you would like. We have open toe, we have closed toe, we have a side strap. I'm going to do a back heel and an open toe front. This is my fondant with the Tylose in it. Again, the reason I have the Tylose is because I want it to hold and not flop over. So I'm going to roll it out and cut out both patterns. So I've rolled out my fondant. I'm going to place my patterns on. And I'm going to follow the two templates. Okay, I have my back heel pattern. I'm actually going to put some glue on the bottom part of this where it's going to meet the sole, and I'm going to just place it right on top. Depending on your style shoe, you could put it on the top edge or you could put it on the bottom edge, all depending on what you want to do. Just make sure it's even and it stands up on its own. Okay. If it's flopping over, you either need more Tylose or it's too thin. This is my open toe. I'm actually going to put it on the outside edge, so I'm going to put some glue here. You always want to put the glue where it meets the other fondant so it sticks. Okay. Putting this on the outside edge like that. Now, if it's flopping a little in one area, which it's not in this case, but if it does, you could stuff a little paper towel, I like plastic, or saran wrap to hold it, and then you take it out when it's dry. So there you have it. It's that easy. Now it's up to you to decorate it the style that you would like to do. There are all kinds of molds on the market that you could use to decorate. You could even take gold dust and shine things up and bling it out a little bit and adhere them to the shoe with the same piping gel. It's up to you what you want to do. You can also texture. We have texture rolling pins that you could do, let's say, a crocodile shoe. So before actually I cut it, I emboss my fondant and then cut out, and it would be a crocodile style. So thank you for watching. Everything you saw here is available at NewYorkCake.com. Thank you.